So in June, I was 295. Today, I am 240. Hey,
Wow.
hey, hey, that's 55. That's 55 pounds.
Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching Healthy Alternative. Today, we've got a special guest. We have Queenie with us, and we are going to be looking at what are some of the things that she has gained from adopting some new habits, joining the HA community, doing a little learning, doing a little application of knowledge. So if you guys are interested in hearing her story, stay tuned. It's coming up next. Queenie, welcome to the show. I really appreciate you spending this time with us.
Hey, thank you for the invite. I truly appreciate it.
Tell us, why should somebody sit and listen to this interview? What are you sharing with us today?
I am sharing that you don't have to, just because you get a diagnosis, that is not the final say. You truly have power to change your outcome. And that's what I did. I took matters in my own hands and I really changed some things up.
I love that. Power to change outcomes.
Mm-hmm. We're so much stronger than we think we are.
We're infinitely capable. And I think that one of the tricks of society is teaching young children that there's these limitations that never existed, because the only person that can limit you is you.
That's
so right. they've trained us for whatever reason, for whatever purpose. We've been trained to put these limitations. So we're talking about limit removal. Like that's really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of the major issues that you were dealing with that prompted you? Because I think we were talking off camera, you said that back in 27 you were into veganism. Did you get into that for health reasons, or was that like
well when it's a funny story. Well, it's funny and it's not funny. But back in 2006, I met my boyfriend, but he's my husband now. And he was like vegan for 13 years. I was still doing Whoppers for breakfast. I was like, okay, whatever. I wasn't brought up like that. I didn't know anything about it. And it wasn't until like a few years later, my youngest son became ill and the doctors didn't know what was going on with him. He was showing signs of rheumatoid arthritis, for children. But then going back and forth, and they didn't know. So I ended up taking him to an all-natural doctor in Chicago. And basically it came down to absorption issue that affected his heart. He developed SBT, and he had to have like 3 procedures on his heart. And what corrected this? It was similar to like leaky gut. What corrected it was a plant-based diet. And I'm talking about low salt to no salt, no sugar, bean, grain, and a green, just really strict. And through that, you gain knowledge, right? And since I was the baker in my family, I had to like get creative because I didn't want to because some people think if you change your diet, it's a punishment when you can't eat socially, in the family. Or even around your peers. I was making my son, his lunches going to school. And so I taught myself how to bake. And it got to the point where other parents started seeing what I was making for my child. And they started asking, hey, can you bake us a cake? My daughter's birthday. And, sensitivities and allergies was a big thing as well. So that's how it kind of developed. I got so good that no one really know my product was vegan. And that's how, Lush Life, that's the name of it, Lush Life Vegan Bakery developed. And then we moved here to, Madison, and it grew from there, really flourished.
Was there a catalyst or a trigger for you specifically, if it wasn't your son's, ailment and what he dealt with, what was it for you?
Okay. So back in January of this year, I just wasn't well. I was losing my hair. My hair was falling out in handfuls, sores, it just inflamed. The picture I sent you, that very first picture was back in January. I just looked my color was washed out, just really my whole body was inflamed. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
what is going on? Because for some people, the vegan freezer stuff, and that's great. It really is. But for each individual person is different. I can't do it. It just really makes my body inflamed. And
Mm.
so from January to June, I was truly trying to, I was like, I'm gonna get this water fast in. I'm gonna do because every year I do like juicy January, juicy July. And I was on such a struggle bus back in
Uh,
January. I just wasn't successful. I would do it for a few days and stop, start, all the way up until June. Now, I knew every year that Juicy July is a huge thing. And I was like, man, I got to get this together. And the pressure was on. And
mm,
I was like, but I just couldn't find it within my person to get it together. While I was feeling like that, my health was declining. I
mm.
couldn't walk upstairs. I was getting out of breath walking around the store. And I was like, something else is going on. Let me just go to the doctor before I start Juicy July. And that was like early June. No, it was June 20th. And I was like, let me just go and see. And when I
Mm.
went in, my blood sugar level was over 200. And everything was just wilding out. it
Yeah.
was, I was out of control. And I remember when I got those numbers, and I was like, wow. And it was like I was convicted in my spirit.
Mm.
It was like really played back, like all the knowledge that you speak to people, all the knowledge you speak to your children. And now I have two grandchildren that are looking at me too. Um, and I know this, I don't want to sound real silly, but I was even thinking about my descendants past my grandchildren. We are the change, and we can
Yeah.
change things right now. And I just kind of really got convicted like immediately. And I started that day. I started walking and I started juicing 11 days prior
Wow.
to Juicy July. And I said, that's it. I have to do it. I want to live, number one. I want to live. If I say I love my grandchildren, if I say, and it wasn't even to self-love yet, I'm
Okay.
thinking about others.
Right.
And as I went through facilitating Juicy July with a group of ladies, I started really focusing on self-love and what that is to me. And that is when the revelations and the ahas and the awakenings started really coming. Because once you start clearing that stuff out of your system and the inflammation starts going down, then things begin to be really crystal clear. And that's when I decided at the end of Juicy July that because at first I was just going to do 100 days because I really wanted to reverse some things because they put me on some type of drug, metformin, and I was like,
Met-
oh my God, I'm not doing this.
yeah.
And I was like, 100 days. But by the end of Juicy July, I was like, I'm doing it for 122 days, 4 months, because it's bringing the energy of four.
Mm.
And the energy of number four deals with patience, application, discipline, devotion, and mastery, and building solid foundations. And I was like, that's it. That's what I'm gonna do. And here I am, day 87.
Okay, you're still on it.
Yeah, yeah. Yep, I
That
sure
that
am.
I love that. So when did you very first learn about juicing?
So, since I've had this knowledge for many years, it was just naturally to um, dive into the foods because I love to cook. I love to be in the kitchen. I love to, make people happy. I started studying about raw foods, vegan cooked, of course, juicing. So I've been doing this for a long time, but I would stop. I even went raw for like a year and a half
Oh wow.
back in 2015, but why, my why
Mm.
wasn't right.
Yeah.
So something happened, it triggered me, and I got right
That-
back on doing the most,
yeah.
doing the most. So here I am. Here I
That
am again.
that
Yeah.
why is
Yes.
so crucial.
Yes, it
So
is.
I don't know if you're familiar, we have a program. We it's a live class that we're converting to digital, but it's our 40-day wellness class.
Mm-hmm.
The first day or two, we focus on the why. So our classes are like 4 hours. We
Okay.
focus on the why, and we focus on developing the why, and we focus on teaching people that in the future, your why may also develop as well,
Mm-hmm.
as you go through your journey. And I think it's a great starting point for anybody who's looking for holistic wellness,
Mm-hmm.
because your why tends to become a tool that you can use to keep you motivated and keep you moving
That's right.
forward when maybe the outside things that
Mm-hmm.
motivate you aren't there anymore. um,
Absolutely.
and then what we started to learn was, a lot of people have weight as their why. You want to lose weight, or you want to reverse this disease. And because of the methodology that we use, if you follow our methodology very closely, I mean, you can reverse disease
Absolutely.
very quickly, lose weight
Mm-hmm.
quickly. And then it's like, well, what's going to sustain you? You haven't developed a lifestyle yet. um, so I think that's so critical, and I hope people pay attention to that,
Yes.
that piece of developing a proper why.
It really works. And you have to, you know, it's not always about releasing weight. It really isn't, because I know that the body keeps a record of everything. If you at let's say 150 pounds, if there's some trauma that happened and you're 200 now and you drop down to 150, that layer right there is,
Yep.
is stored, is stored. So all those emotions, all those pains, all those thought patterns that you thought you were over are going to rise up to the top. And if you don't take time to sit with it and really deal with it, or
Mm,
say, you know what, or forgive yourself, forgive the person that whatever happened, and truly release it, you're not going to release weight, because your
mm,
body is in survival mode. That is what is kept it safe. And a lot of people don't understand that. So you have to sit down. You have to
mm.
be brave, have the courage to truly sit with yourself. And so, you said something earlier about surrounding yourself with people. Surround yourself with people who are going to be that clear mirror for you in
Mm.
truth, that can love you going through it, but also just reflect you back to you. So you
Right.
can get the strength to sit down and sit with yourself. Journal. You have to journal.
Yes.
Hmm.
That is why. Now,
Yeah.
I think women tend to lean towards journaling more than men. Like, just,
Mm,
you know what I mean?
okay.
Um, so I was not interested in journaling. As
Hmm.
the way I got into journaling was I kind of tricked myself because I was starting a business. I love business,
Hmm.
and I'm learning a brand new trade in order to, run my business, and I had to write things down. So I
Yeah.
was like, well, let me get a journal. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get a journal. I'm gonna write
Hmm.
down what I'm learning. And as I was writing down what I'm learning, I'm like, well, let me put some goals in here, right? And the next thing I know, I've got information and knowledge. I'm updating, things I figured out. I've got timelines. I'm checking my timelines. And at the time, I still didn't understand the power of it. It wasn't
Hmm.
until I reflected and I realized how powerful that experience was just because I had a journal.
Yeah.
So when I started my health and wellness journey, not knowing what was going to come of it, I just wanted to heal. I just wanted to feel better. I wrote everything down in a notebook. You know what I mean? And then
That's
that
right.
notebook became my own little personal Bible that I would use to share information with other people. And that's how AHA was developed.
Hmm.
So when I got the wherewithal, I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna develop a journal, a fasting journal for the group, so
That's
that
right.
people can utilize this tool, because I don't think people realize how powerful it is."
It is. It's tapping into the heart space. So when you're intuitively in that meditative state and you're journaling, you're able to, get your downloads, tap into the heart space, down to your art, onto the paper. That's what it
Mm,
is. That's exactly what it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. Yep, absolutely. Um, so would you like to share what were some of the issues that you wanted to resolve or that you're currently resolving?
Well, one, my so when I was going right before, I just didn't feel whole. I didn't feel healthy. So that was my first thing and then when I got this diagnosis projected on me, because I'm not accepting it,
I got you.
I want to definitely reverse that. And I just wanted to completely heal myself, just heal myself. So those were the main things. And in doing that, I know the result of doing that, I would release the weight.
Yeah.
So everybody asks me, what's your goal weight? What's your goal weight? I don't really know because I've always, since, I don't know, senior year, I've always been over 200 pounds. So I really don't know what my goal weight is supposed to be. I just know I
Mm,
want to be healthy. I want to be
okay.
whole. I want to be restored and rejuvenated. And whatever my body deems, I hope that is under 200 pounds. Um, that is my goal.
That's I I think that's a good way of looking at it.
Hmm.
When I do my consultations, I ask people what their goal weight is. Part of why I ask people that is to gauge where their mindset is.
Yeah.
Are
Hmm.
they where are they focused? So
Hmm.
sometimes people will tell me very specifically, oh, I'm, let's say, 260 now and I want to get down to 180 or
Hmm.
170. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's a pretty common thing that I'll hear from people,
Hmm.
and then I'll give my advice based on that. Or they might say, I don't really have a goal weight. My goal is to be healthy. Like,
Yeah,
I love hearing that, because
that's right.
that means that your focus is going to be internal. And
Hmm.
what happens is, and for the people who are like, if you're 260, and if you're a 5'5" woman, you're 260 and you want to get down to 180, you think, that's a good bit of weight to lose. I'll be happy there. But if your goal is focused on internally, how do you feel,
Yeah,
right? Physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, etc., then
yeah,
you'll continue down your path until you reach a point where you feel whole,
that's
versus,
right.
you know what I'm saying, a number on a scale. And I
Yes.
think that's so much better for lifestyle change.
Hmm.
It'll also help you maintain, because if you ever feel like you're out of alignment with that feeling of wholeness that resonates with you, you'll go back, or you'll kind of readjust.
That's right.
So but where did you, as far as weight goes, and this is just for um
Hmm.
one of the things that really captivates people are the weight loss goals and the weight loss journeys.
Yes.
So
Hmm.
I ask for that reason, for I think it's like a tool we could use to draw people's attention in. And then once
Yeah.
they get in, they can learn, oh, wait, this is more than just weight loss. Because you've said
Yes.
some really important things in this
Hmm.
interview, right? So,
Hmm.
what was your starting weight? And do you have a current
Yes,
weight?
I sure do.
Okay.
And I'm so proud of myself. So my start weight in June, okay, because I know I was a little bit bigger in January. So in June, I was 295. Today, I am 240. Eight,
Wow.
eight, eight. That's 55. That's 55 pounds
50,
released.
55 pounds released
Yes.
in, well, less than 3 months.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. That's huge. You and you've been primarily juicing,
No, I have been juicing only.
only juicing.
Only.
Um, see, I'm curious to know, what's your experience with juicing, because we talk a little bit about juicing,
Yeah.
but we don't see too many people doing like extended juice fast like that.
Correct.
So
Hmm.
I'm curious to know, like, what do you experience as far as like detox symptoms, energy
Okay.
levels, like, yeah.
So, first off, my energy level at this point is through the roof.
I could tell.
I feel I feel like a child, in like young teen. Like I just, oh my gosh, I just started week 4 of C2 5K. Have you heard that, couch to five? I'm in week 4. Like I am 47 years young. And that is something I didn't even imagine myself doing back in June. So
Mm,
I just felt like naturally the progression of walking, because I try to get 5 days a week, 5 miles.
okay.
And
Wow.
the progression of walking, my
Yeah.
body was wanting to run. So I was like, hey. So energy wise, my mood. So I don't deal, people deal moodiness, depression, sadness. My body, I truly feel like the juice is really keeping my energy, my vibes, my mindset
Mhm.
truly on a higher level. So I'm happier. I'm more optimistic in life. My so my energy level, but detox. Everybody want to know about detox. So when I first started, of course, the first 3 days, just with any like if you're doing water or your juice, this is similar. The
Okay.
detox. You get past 3 days, okay, you're doing better. By the time you get to, I don't know, 10, 14, you're going to hit another stage of detox.
Mhm.
Now, for me at day 87, um, maybe twice a month, I might hit a toxic pocket. That's what I call them,
Okay.
toxic pockets, or where things may, I don't know, I might get a little rash. I might be more tired, or I want to just lay down a little bit more.
Mhm.
Some emotional stuff will come up that I haven't thought of in
Mm.
years. And I'm like,
Yeah.
where did that come from?
Mhm.
My tongue might be, turn back white.
Oh, yeah.
My scalp might get a little inflamed, but then it leaves like it
Right.
never happened. Like, what was that? But if you just push through it, it's not unbearable. It's just, okay,
Mhm.
I know what this is. So I'm going to give my body a little bit more grace today. I don't need to walk because I've been walking.
Yeah.
You got to give yourself grace. This is not major pain.
Drop down, give me 30 sit-ups right now.
We are not militant. We're not
Right.
doing that. We have to give ourselves grace and love.
Absolutely.
This is a journey back to self-love, being whole and complete.
Mhm.
So that is what happens with me with detox. So that is like when I'm feeling it, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna be quiet. But other than that, I'm good.
I
I feel really
love it.
great. Yeah.
That's good. Oh, I was gonna ask, can you give us an example of a juice that you would make?
Sure, sure. So this juice right here, my green juice, is
Okay.
my everyday juice, like every day. And I do something called batch juicing. So I juice one time during the day for the whole day.
Mhm.
And sometimes when I do watermelons, it's for 2 days because the enzymes in the juices are good up to 3 days.
Mm.
So to help yourself plan it out, I juice for the day. So I do like 16 red apples. I do a bunch of kale, a half a bunch of cilantro, one cucumber, one lime, 2 inches of ginger, a half a bunch of celery, and that's my juice. And that will produce me about 264 ounces of
That's
juice a day.
good. Perfect.
So that is what you're supposed to sustain you, to be
Mhm.
satiated. You're supposed to
Yeah.
drink up to 128 ounces a day. Now,
Absolutely.
at this stage, sometimes it's hard for me to get that down because I got so much energy and I'm not thirsty. I'm not
Yeah.
hungry. That's the last thing on my mind. But that isn't that funny how you start off like, oh my God, I can't live
Yep.
without eating, to,
Yep.
oh, I forgot to drink my juice. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful progression. So
Yeah.
what I have personally experienced is what I coined the Goldilocks zone, where you're fasting, whatever kind of fasting you're doing, and you
Mm-hmm.
feel this overwhelming sense of well-being, energy, clarity of mind, and you have this thought, you've hit it because you have this thought like, oh, this I can do this. Like I feel great. Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe yesterday you were like, you were just scraping the bottom of the barrel, and then today you just feel amazing. And I
Yeah.
think that it's a blessing to have that glimpse of what you can obtain from this process, because that's how I look at it. It's like there's a
Mm-hmm.
foreshadowing of the type of clarity and energy and well-being you can obtain if you continue this.
Yeah.
But that's an excellent juice recipe. You've knocked out all the markers, just clearly that you're knowledgeable about it. Did you
Mm-hmm.
have a book, right? You should plug your book.
I do.
Is it
Hold
is
on.
it
Hold on. Hold on.
is it
So
available?
it is. It's on Amazon. It's called Let's Get Juicy. So let's get juicy. And when I wrote it last year for the ladies, I was really wanting to give the ladies' juice recipes, of course, but I also wanted to have, the cleansing and alignment. So what I did is I aligned it with the chakras. So I got juices for each
Oh,
chakra,
okay.
and I put affirmations in there, sound therapy,
Yeah. Oh, wow.
crystals.
Okay.
I put crystals
Yeah.
in there, essential oils to truly align you, mind, body, and
Mm,
soul. So if today, I don't know if you're feeling like your heart, you kind of sad, or you're feeling whatever is going on, drink some of those green juices that's gonna balance out the heart. You can get
mm,
some pink juices, that's in here. That's gonna balance out the upper part of the heart chakra. The green is the lower.
okay.
So that is what I wanted to, how I, wrote Let's Get Juicy. So yeah, I got it. And since I'm plugging, I am creating some juice challenges coming up. I got the blueprint on how to do this. So that is something that hopefully get kicked off soon, because I want to prepare people for a juicy January. And that's a 14-day that I usually do.
Okay.
So
Okay.
mhm.
So make sure that I want you to join our AHA communities. So AHA
Mhm.
communities is a private group for AHA. It's very similar to Facebook, except it's not Facebook, so no ads and all the trifling stuff you got to see on Facebook. You know what I mean? It's our
Mhm.
own space. So I want you to join, and I want you to feel free to promote your juice
Okay.
fasting and things of that nature. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put
Absolutely.
the link in the description for anybody who wants to join AHA communities. It's a free community. It's something that we did just to further expand on the services and the community and everything that we do. Because like I said, I'm always looking for a way to improve. I'm like,
Yeah.
how can we get people locked in? So all the coaches are in there.
Yeah.
Everybody who's in there will get they'll have the first information about new upcoming things. We're gonna
Nice.
be doing giveaways and all kinds of stuff in there. So yeah,
Nice.
and you're gonna be in there. So there we
Yes,
go.
I am. I'm
There we
joining
go.
today.
All right.
Nice. Yeah.
Um, well, I want to definitely extend you an opportunity to come back when you finish. Right. Like
Oh, absolutely.
yes, I want you to come
Mm.
back. I am very, first of all, I'm so confident in your outcome that you're going to get from this, right?
Mhm.
Completing this. And I'm so curious because just off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody else who's done a juice fest that long. So I really want to hit this again because
Mhm.
I know for a fact people are going to be very interested in this. And then the fact that you do your groups and your juicy
Yeah.
uh, January and June, juicy June, right?
July. Juicy
July.
July. Yeah.
Um, so you have a support system in place. So that's dope. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I have found that when we help others, we inadvertently help ourselves. Like we can't help
Absolutely.
it.
Mhm.
So it's great for lifestyle to help other people and keep
Mhm.
yourself accountable. Um,
Mhm.
I want to give you an opportunity to close us out with any last statements or any information you want to share with us that you think will be important.
I would like to say to be encouraged. Anyone who is watching this and they feel like they're not able to change things around, just know to please be encouraged that you are definitely stronger than what you ever can imagine, and that you absolutely can do it with the guidance of different like-minded people. Surround yourself with people who have the same goals. So that is what I want to do. Is say that's it. Just be
Be
encouraged, and plug
encouraged.
in. Make a
Play an
choice.
active role. That's how
M-
you change. That's how you change your
Make a
outcomes.
choice. Make a
Yes.
choice. Yes.
Yeah. All
Hmm.
right. Beautiful. Well, I genuinely appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
You're very
Um,
welcome.
for those who are watching, if you guys enjoyed this video, you got to hit the thumbs up button. It's great for the YouTube algorithm. More people get to see the videos, more people get
That's
to
right.
learn. We need y'all. Come to the community. You know what I mean?
Give that thumbs up. Yeah.
Make sure to subscribe, and as always, the application of knowledge is power. And I'll see you all next time.